We happy? Today? We happy?
Oh, we're happy.
Hey, so what are we doing here?
I am making a prototype for the Big Earn Trophy, which is it's a Player of the Year award trophy for the World Series of Board Gaming. And it's gonna be the most intricate one because it's not only gonna be a trophy, but a working, functional piece. So I really wanna make sure it works. And I have this nifty little laser cutter, the Creality Falcon 2, 22 watt. It allows it to cut everything out and make intricate pieces so I don't have to use an X-Acto knife. And I'm in love with it so much, I'm so excited.
So you're prototyping?
Yes, I'm prototyping. It's not gonna be a finished cardboard trophy. That would be for my gaming event. So if you wanna come to SpikeCon 2025, expect cardboard trophies. Now, to assemble all of these precision cut pieces.
They smell like fire.
They do smell like fire. So this is to scale. The exact size of how it's been designed so far.
Three scales can cut it right now.
So one problem is like that hole right now is not big enough in there to fit the dice. So I need to open that up. Once it goes through there though, it fell out. All right, so I do think that, well, that's the first problem. One, how do you feel about the size of it? Is that trophy size?
I think so. I don't think I would go smaller, which I don't think that's even on the table.
It's not. But how do we feel about it as is?
I like it. I don't like the tape. But
So when I make prototypes, I usually get an immense anxiety about them not looking perfect. And that right there was a perfect example of why. Because don't show people things that you don't want them to see. Anyways, back to it. No, the tape obviously, you're just such an asshole.
I think it's great.
I think it's cool. Great.
Good job.
Thank you, sir. I just cut out all the pieces on the laser cutter, and now I'm gonna put it together. Because if I can put it together like this, Aaron will be able to put it together no problem. Get ready for this. They're all here. They're all here, guys. You wanna do 6 at a time?
Uh-oh, it's a cheating device. They're all 6s.
Well, don't worry about that part. It works. She lives. Woo! Yes. Why did you think that was gonna work?
I don't know.
It's a dice tower, Will, not a camera tower. You silly goose. So I had some thoughts about this.
Is that what you keep in those front pockets?
Don't worry about
Drool
it.
mostly.
Little treasures. All right. So first off, this is a two-scale, 1-to-1 recreation. Got this. Everyone's happy.
Great.
Okay. So A couple questions is, do we like how it's going to go together? Like the little index and tabs.
So what have we landed on material-wise? Just catch me up on that. I know we went back and forth a bit. Are we
Right, so we
all stainless now?
were stainless steel dice, and then we talked about metal pips that were blacked out.
Right, got it.
So I had some thoughts about that. Raised pips is what we've been talking about the whole time, and I think that's going to look kind of cool. Do we want to just laser etch the pips so they're flat? I mean, that solves a lot of issues. Precision of the pips, not a problem. Like getting them spot on to where they need to be, no problem, because they're all in the same 4.5 by 4.5 form factor. So I can set up a jig to do that. Now,
Are we going to do each panel individually at that point? Is that
yeah.
Okay.
So I would get all the panels cut.
And this is still cut out as a negative, right?
Yeah. I would cut out all the panels. I would get you to finish them, like brush them all. I would take all the panels still individually, laser them, then give them to you to do the laser, or to do the...
That's the issue, I think, is
Tell me why.
doing them, because once they're lasered, I can't do anything to the finish.
Where they're lasered?
Yeah.
Okay.
So blending these corners after I weld them into the flat surfaces.
It's gonna be tough if you have to tiptoe around that.
Correct.
I think the raised pips are gonna look cooler anyways.
I agree.
All right, so stainless steel, raised pips. We need to do testing on the bluing.
On the bluing,
Or what? How are you planning on finishing the pips?
I love the idea of bluing them. I think that probably is going to be the lowest impact and the most forgiving in terms of like if one gets messed up and have to bring it back down, I can re-blue it pretty easily.
I'd really like to test that.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that the stainless isn't going to absorb any. So like right here, I'm gonna try to show it so the camera sees it well. So right here, there's a dip.
That's it.
It's amazing that we get anything cool made here.
Dumbass, what are we doing?
We are finally starting the trophies for the World Series of Board Gaming. And right now I'm going to be cutting out the base for the Twilight Struggles trophy and some of the swords for the Lord of the Rings trophy. All right, so this is the base for the Twilight Struggle trophy, which is going to come. These are all going to get bent up and kind of create a basket. And then, hey Aaron. Cool. Aaron wanted to cut out because.
Cause it looks like cause he's a snowflake.
Hey, even he was next to you.
A war-torn snowflake.
And then these, we're only going to use one, but we had a couple for practice. And we're going to make one for Will so he can finally get his sword.
Perfect.
Right now, I'm dedrossing. Everybody knows what that is by this time. The base is going to get turned up and hold a piece of concrete. This is a wild design, Spike's handiwork, and I will sincerely say he did an awesome job on it. Really excited to see how this all turns out. But just kind of at the initial stages, from taking it from computer design to cutting it out on the plasma to being here and actually starting the process of making it a 3D object. And that's where we're at right now. I got this piece just about all dedrossed. These are actually going to be swords for, I don't know, some Lord of the Rings thing. This is as much as I can give it. But I'm going to shape these, de-dross these and shape these, put a little bevel on there. This little tab is actually going to set down into some wood on there. We've got a total of 3 different trophies that we're working on right now. So we've got different elements for different trophies all at once. I'm going to knock them out and have some fun. So we'll see. This is kind of rapid prototyping to an extent as well, which I always enjoy. So let's do it.
Say it.
Rolling.
No. Say it.
Action.
No. Say it.
What? Cool.
Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna cut off a couple plates
Uh-huh.
to see if we can get this tolerance. These don't actually fit together, but because that fine cut is a game changer.
But right now I only have one fine cut.
Right. So I'm gonna do
So I don't know
that.
if that affects this. It
I need
doesn't
to-
seem-
Pretty much the same.
It's pretty much the same.
Okay. I'll dial that in a little bit. We'll try that. These are the feet, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna clean those up now.
And I'm also gonna be doing laser stuff on the shield, testing that out.
What other?
1/4 inch holes, doing this.
All right. At lunch today, maybe I'll run home and grab concrete chunks and start playing around with that.
Yeah, you can also start bending that if you want.
This looks way smaller.
It does.
Can we scale it?
It's the right size because it comes out to like this, like almost 45 or 30.
As the designer on this, what is it like to see your stuff coming to life?
Man, it's so cool. Designing it in 3D modeling was really fun, but now it's like being able to hold the pieces and like see this. Like, this is a very small thing, but then to real like when I built the cardboard one, I was like, oh shit, that's gonna look amazing. And now seeing it like this, what are your thoughts? I feel.
I mean, I think it's kind of weird that you make all of this call you Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, in all of this. But like, yeah, your designs are
It's
coming
part
to
of the
life.
contract, Aaron. You have to call me Dr. Frankenstein.
You're Dr. Spikenstein.
Thank you. That's the backup name. It feels really cool. I'm really excited. But here's also the designer. I don't know if it's the designer part of me or it's just me, but I'm super terrified that people aren't gonna like it. Like it's gonna be like, all right, here's your
I'm a
trophy.
designer then.
Here's your trophy. Oh no. So I made
Said no one ever.
So I'm gonna go to the World Series of Board Gaming, and I'm gonna not go to the trophy ceremony.
Maybe you should win one with the fake glasses and mustache. And just...
Oh boy, what a great trophy!
I've got like a brown waxed twine that I think would look like scaled appropriately.
And I'm not saying these have to be screen authentic. Where do you get them? Rough them up a little bit so that they look like,
Patina them.
yeah, like an orc was using to chop up hobbits.
Yeah, like if you want to bang them around,
Yeah.
scratch them, and then patina them, that'd be great. What are you doing?
Tacking on these little pips right now on the new stainless pieces you cut me. See how that's gonna work. Hopefully the answer's great. Got a couple different things to contend with. Stainless is such a finicky thing. It wants to potato chip up as soon as I weld on it, so I'm moving it down.
Okay.
Using our new steel hip holders, I think that is definitely going to be the right path.
Right on.
But this is the first test. We'll see how it goes. So
Cool.
I'll let you know shortly.
Yeah, great.
So what do we got here?
So we are starting the process of laser engraving the brass plaques that we're going to use for the trophies. I have this scrap left over. If anybody can recognize these symbols, one of them should make you happy, the other one shouldn't. And this is my first time ever laser engraving on brass. I don't know what's going to look like. I don't know how to dial in the power quite yet, so we're going to wing it and see how it goes. From everything that I've heard online, thank you to commenters who said not to breathe this in when I'm lasering it. I'm going to do my best not to. So here we go.
All right, so what's the development?
Interesting thing about this, and so I lasered it using the same settings as I did stainless steel. Now, before I get ridiculed, I've not done any research on this whatsoever. I've just been winging it. But if you can see, like right here, like it's been really light, but then you can just rub it off. So there's something different about how the laser interacts with brass. So I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna figure out why this is happening, and then I'm gonna figure out how to make it better. Because this is an important part.
Without rubbing it off.
I'm not gonna say that. You want me to say that?
What do we figure out?
Okay, so first things first, I figured out that you cannot laser brass with a diode. Apparently you can with a fiber. We don't have that. So there's a couple different options on how to etch brass, and because of our time constraints, I'm going to do the one that is fastest. And it's also going to be the one that's consistent with the other trophy. So what I'm going to do is I've taped off the brass right here. We're going to laser it to create a stencil, take it out, blast it with the sandblaster, and then paint it, and then remove the stencil. So the end result, hopefully, is polished brass with a nice painted engraving. So we'll see.
Let's go. Hey, so where are we at with all this?
Form is really starting to take place on this thing. Again, concept, trophy for the World Series of Board Gaming. This is for the Player of the Year, kind of an integrity-based sportsmanship type of award. But we didn't just want a stagnant award, we wanted something that's functional. So this is an actual dice tower made of dice. Super fun. Lots of kind of figuring things out and how all of this pieces together so that when you throw dice in here, it tumbles through the 3 dice and comes down to the very bottom here. I've had to build these in a very kind of inconsistent order to get clean surfaces where they all match up in there, because like welding, it's like 4 different plates at once that you're putting to one plate, and then that one plate is critical to the next cube. It's just a little involved, but it's going great. The bottom one is the last one I'm doing. I've got that mostly welded right now. I got some finish work, but I don't want to entirely finish it because it needs the base, which is going to have some feet on there that offset the amount that the handle will. Made this little stainless knob earlier. That's going to go. I drill that out, but that will get welded onto the face. And I am in the process currently, it's still really hot, but in the process currently of welding and blending in a stainless piano hinge that will weld inside here, and the whole thing will get shaped so that when you open up, and there's a little ramp, kind of like kick the dice out this way. That's going to be the bottom of the dice that has the feet on it, which are these little stainless jammers I made that are going to clean up and make all nice and smooth and satisfying, but I'll get the right offset on there so that when this is down with this knob, essentially right there.
That's a foot
So
too.
it'll come down and basically be an additional foot at the right height. It'll get a little fence that gets welded on there. It's just a bunch of tedious little work, and it's going so far so good. Got the hinge done. Again, got some fine tuning to do on it. I want to make sure that it's kind of as invisible as possible, but I think we're going to get it. I think I'm going to blend all that. I actually took this little square 14 gauge and milled out just like a 32nd off of there, so I had a little lip to sit down in there so I could actually get a nice secure spot that I could clamp the whole thing and then weld it. Got a couple plug welds in there and then went all along there. And again, I'll just try and blend that now to where it just looks like that hinge is kind of part of the door. And once we have that, then it'll be the dry fit, fitting it in there. Probably have to come up with some kind of little like magnet system or something. I know it's stainless, but I'll put a corresponding magnet. So it holds closed nicely, but I'm feeling good about it.
Nice.
We'll see. Can't wait for the next update.
Spike, where you at on all this?
Currently waiting on paint to dry, so that way we can test some things out about curling the shield, if it's going to break the paint, how the paint's going to adhere to the brass. So I'm kind of in a holding pattern right now, waiting on things to dry. And I'm just waiting to see beautiful Aaron's creations. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm alive. What you guys working on?
It's about to be trophy time.
So cool. So cool, dude.